Coming to you from the poorly painted studios in Cumming, Georgia, this is the Chuck and Z Show. And now, here's Chuck and Z.
What up, everybody? Welcome to the Chuck and Z Show. As you can clearly see, we are not coming to you live from the poorly painted studios in Cumming, Georgia. We're actually coming to you from the Smoky Bear Cigars and Cafe in Blue Ridge, Georgia. They were very kind to allow us to come in and film today, and we are going to smoke some cigars and talk to the horny harley-honkers, better known as Ronnie and Briana. Great to the show.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you for having our first podcast.
Okay.
Oh, is it?
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, I figured you guys probably had done one before. You do a lot on social media as far as your video goes.
We play with it a little bit. We're novice, and so we've been doing it for a little over a year now.
Okay.
And so we're learning.
Yeah.
And this is teaching us.
Yeah.
So,
And we're weekend junkies too, so we don't during the week it's hard because we work full-time jobs, but so it's the weekend warrior thing. So but we're slowly getting there.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. That's kind of our thing too. I mean, we have full-time jobs, so whenever we get out, it's most likely on the weekends. And then we'll take some trips, kind of like we saw you guys for the first time in Milwaukee at the Harley 120th. That was pretty cool.
Yeah, that was awesome.
we knew who you were, and then it was just like, hey, there's Chuck and Z. What was unique about the 120 was seeing all the other social media influencers there, and then you immediately recognize them, and sometimes they recognize you, like Two Lane Life and their wives, and then Thrash and Supply. I wanted to take Juan and go get some tacos somewhere, but they'd already been. But
yeah, isn't that cool? Like just seeing people from social media in person and like meeting them and getting to know them a little bit.
Yeah.
Really, it just kind of like makes it real. Makes them a real person as opposed to them being just on your screen.
Yeah,
and it's like it's like they're not strangers. Like we're here today,
Exactly.
and so I hit Chuck up last week, said, hey, we're thinking about coming up, and then he got excited to have the podcast, and it's like, it's we're not really strangers.
Right.
We know each other through social media, and now here we are, and so not only are we follow each other on social media, but now I consider you friends. It's because it's unique.
It solidifies the network that we're all in and the community that we're in. We love it.
Well, one of the cool things about it too is obviously there's going to be outliers, but the vast majority of the people that we've met, they've all been awesome people. Genuine, down to earth, they love to ride, just easygoing, fun-loving people. I mean, we've really only had a couple that were a little odd, but the vast majority are just good people, and that's I think that's just part of what motorcycling is.
You guys are really lucky to have this in your backyard.
Yeah.
So we have to travel, 3-4 hours to get to where you have this kind of riding. And 5 hours if we go to Tellico Plains and ride Cherhalla and the Tail of the Dragon.
Yeah.
But it's every bit worth it. We generally, with kids out in Nevada, having to take time, our vacation time is mostly spent traveling out there to see kids or having them come here. But so she doesn't have a lot of time. I got 32 years in the fire department, so I do have a lot of time. And but normally it's Fridays after work. We hit the road, drive 5 or 6 hours, set up camp, and ride all day Saturday, come home Sundays.
Yeah.
And people think we're crazy, but we enjoy it.
No, I love that.
And you mentioned something a minute ago, and I go back to it. So you watched her growth in riding.
Yeah.
And from the beginning of basic rider class to now. And you were hanging the roads with him. He wasn't walking off and leaving you by no means. And so I've done the same thing with her. So our journey started back in 2018 when we were both at the National Fire Academy. We met. It was pretty much love at first sight for me. I had to convince her.
I identify with that. It sounds very familiar to me.
So, we rode 2 up and we came up to the Smoky Mountains in Georgia several times and COVID hit. Well, actually, I was a rider coach, and she was my range age. She was sitting on cones, and the state director said I want her to at least take the course. So we put her through the course December of 2019, and then COVID hit, and it was like, well, we can't do anything else but ride, and so let's go get you a bike. And we started looking at Sportsters, and then she said I want a deluxe, and we found one in South Carolina, and it was on Wednesday we found it, and on Friday we were headed to South Carolina to pick it up. And so it's awesome, like you said, to be able to look over and see, in my case, and I'm sure your case, your soulmate sitting next to you, riding two wheels, getting some wind therapy, and it's very, very, very special to me. And so, I mean, she's I don't need to ride with anybody else. You know, this is great. I love coming and meeting people and riding, but when you get back home and you got your buddies that were riding, I don't need them anymore. You know, it's like I all I need is her by my side. And
so you ride, Briana, you ride a Softail Deluxe.
I do.
What's the color scheme on your bike? It's really pretty.
Frosted pearl white and frosted teal.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's gorgeous. It's a
kind of
gorgeous
classic. Yeah. Her name's Alice.
Okay.
So, but yeah, no, we bought her, like you said, in 2020, and she's been my growth bike. She's been with me ever since the beginning, and I'm a very firm believer that small women do not need to start off with a Sportster.
Yeah.
I believe every woman should sit on every kind of bike and ride what you feel comfortable riding. I was just kind of adamant that I wasn't going to. But you know, we've done some modifications. Obviously, I'm 5'2", and so we've done some modifications on her. Reduced her seat, we've lowered the tail neck. All those good companies. But we did also put 14 bars on it too.
Oh, wow.
So she's
comfortable, right?
She's very comfortable with that. Yeah. So, and I was just commenting, a few years ago, starting out, riding at 80 miles an hour would scare the piss out of me. And now it's like, big deal. I can hang.
I was doing the filming a while ago, and I had y'all going. She was hanging with you.
She was, yeah.
We were getting on down the road, and so. Yeah, she's come a long way.
Yeah.
Good.
So, and looking to upgrade. So, we're, kind of sort of.
Oh, yeah, you did ride on, was it the electric bike?
I had that one's a 2008 Street Glide, and I've kind of got it in like a American theme with the big spoke wire wheels, DNA wheels, red and white wall tires, something different. It was a cookie cutter. And then we saw the Revival come out with the blue and the white, and so I had an extra fairing, and I had my dad paint it.
Okay.
And so he likes tinkering around like that. So I put it on there, and we just changed the whole looks of it. I love red, white, and blue. I love America, and it's very patriotic. And number one logo is my favorite.
Yeah.
And so she did ride it. We were at the dealership we work at, and they took in a Street Glide on trade, and I rode it. And I got off of it and I said, we'll ride this. And she's like, do what?
Were you excited, right?
Well, of course, nervous, obviously, because it was much bigger, but it was.
But then you get on it and it's like nothing.
Yeah, it was no big deal, and took it, around and parked it, and went to get off of it, and he goes, "That's it. You're not gonna ride it anymore." And I was like, "Can I?"
Yeah.
And so I made it around again and went to get off, and I'm like, "That was a mistake. You just done doing it. It's time to upgrade."
And then I tried to get her on mine on the way home, and she's like, "Oh no, I'm good." And then we got in front of the dealership, I pulled over, and I'm like, "Ride it." okay. She was riding a Fat Boy, and so we switched bikes, and then the Sunday we took it for a ride also. Yeah, we'll be looking for probably a road glide. I've already got 2 Batwing Fairy bikes, so we'll probably go into a road glide. Be actively looking about a year down the road.
So you'll have a road ride, or
We.
how many bikes do you guys have?
4.
Okay. Yeah. So just adding a road glide to the stable.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I'm going to teach him how to light a cigar, and while I do that, take us like through the journey. Did you ride before you met him? How did all that start? A little bit.
I started out with dirt bikes, ATVs, those kinds of things.
I've already punched it for you, so actually this is when I did a diamond pedal.
Growing up, my
Easy
dad,
for you when you first start.
teaching on cars
So
and
just,
that kind of
just
stuff.
take this.
We always had a manual drive. So I knew how to drive manual. I absolutely had no intention of riding my own bike.
Obviously, don't inhale.
To begin with. And so when we went through, and he got his
I did it with my team.
and it was just a natural progression, but absolutely I did not have any intention of riding my own or becoming a coach or anything else. So it was just kind of,
That takes me back to my childhood.
it has been so fun to
Remember that old,
like all events. Actually, I know you know what I mean. But it's been such a journey. My family thinks I'm crazy. I'm sure my dad just is like every time he knows that I'm on my bike, he's like,
I totally relate to that. It was the same for me. Like I had no intentions of riding ever, and then he bought his dream bike, which was a 2016 V-Rod Muscle.
Nice.
Black.
Gorgeous.
Yeah.
I mean, I've told that story so many times, but just real quick. Walked in, saw it, stopped dead in my tracks, and was like, I don't know how I'm going to leave this building without that bike. I want that bike so bad.
Yeah, and I rode on it a couple of times on the back of it. And then I'm like, you know what? I felt like, I don't know if it was like a control thing. I know it's control. It's wanting to experience the same thrill that he's having, you know, driving it, being the driver. And took the class and immediately sat on the bike, and it was a Honda, of course. They had like Groms and Rebels and all that. I sat on the Grom because I'm short, I bike as well. And immediately, when I got in first, and hit that car, yes.
We're sitting there talking about y'all, and we're like going, you know, just all kinds of stuff. I mean, did you ever hit your brakes? Ever?
I was trail braking a couple of times in there, but I didn't really a lot. There was when we were coming down the mountain, I think there was probably a 15-minute stretch on the downside. I didn't hit the gas. I didn't hit the gas one time. My clutch was pulled the whole time, just rolling down the mountain.
Wow.
Yeah, I think when you got back to home is when I got back into the gas. But yeah, I mean, I don't know, man. I just love riding.
All I could tell him, I'm like, the lean angle on that bike is amazing. I'm like, I don't, secret jealous because my bike does not have that, obviously.
Well, that was intentional.
Yeah.
That's why I wanted her built the way I built her. Is I got tired of scraping in the corners and half.
You can tell because when you're leaning into the corner, you might as well be a road Atlanta.
I know. English baggers, right?
Yeah.
So before we end this podcast, I want to know where you got your name.
Yeah.
The horny Harley.
So my guess is that, and this is a bad one, but you guys, anytime you see the signs that say honk if you're horny or honk if you're on a Harley, you're like, where are the people that do that? We're the ones that honk.
So it started when I brought her out here. We were going to the beach on a motorcycle. We're riding to, this is the South. I mean, you honk and wave at people going down the road all the time, and that's kind of a lost art as well. People don't do that anymore, and so being from a small town, we honk and wave to somebody checking their mail or sitting on the front porch on a nice Saturday morning drinking coffee, and we'd wave, and just to see the smile on their face and wave back, it became a competition when we got on two different bikes, and who could get the most waves. But I think the kids actually,
or who can get the first wave.
Yeah, I got the first wave for that. I think the kids actually dubbed us. They came out for the summer. We were going to Panama City, and they were like, "Why are you honking and waving at everybody? This is the South. That's what we do." And so and I don't forget which kids had you're the horny honker, and then we added the Harley to incorporate the bikes. And so and we thought twice seriously about dropping the horny part of it and just be the Harley honkers. And when we started questioning our friends and everybody, they're like going, "No, we love it." And so
it's different for sure.
So we don't want anybody thinking that it's like Adam Sandoval said, it's a play on words. And but yeah, we don't want it to be anything derogatory. We want it to be fun, and that's what it has become, is something fun.
Yeah, it is fun. It builds curiosity too.
It does.
Just be careful. That name, you might have some folks who are expecting an alternative lifestyle.
So we just put this big sticker across the back of the trailer, and it's on the camper as well. And it says the Horny Harley-Honkers, and this is our second trip, and this is the second trip where somebody comes by honking and waving at us as they're passing by us, and so we'll catch back up to them in a minute and honk and wave back at them. But it's unique, and like I said,
anybody watching, just go to Instagram, like our page. Hit us up, say hi.
Exactly.
What is it? What is it for you individually that you get up in the morning and I want to be on the bike? What is it that gets you on the bike? Why do you ride? Is what I'm asking.
Freedom.
Yeah, it's that loss of everything, all the anxiety, all the worries. We both have pretty stressful jobs, so it's being able to focus on one thing, and that's that bike, and everything else just goes away. For me, that's.
I think she said it best 2 or 3 weeks ago when we went and rode the Chihuahua Skyway, and it was a crisp morning, and we're halfway to Bryson City, and she was just like going, "This is just awesome." The cool breeze, the wind, and freedom on the road, and we just sat back and we just had a conversation about it, how awesome it was. And this morning was very reminiscent of that too, on the first road we took, which was Wolf Pen Gap. And so that was we enjoyed that one. You described it perfectly, the way the sun was coming through the trees. And so freedom, and it's also spiritual. It's our way of getting back to nature and enjoying this earth that God created for us. And so and we enjoy it. We made the comment that road was probably better than Tail of the Dragon. And the reason is the cornering and all the bank. Each corner has its own bank, where you don't see that on the Tail of the Dragon. I mean, they're not banked as much. You roll into one and it's banked hard to the right, and then you roll out of it onto a straightaway. It's just, it's a special road for sure. And I've ridden it before, but that was her first time, and it was my first time riding it that fast.
Thank you for bringing us up.
Well, thank you guys for wanting to do this. I mean, obviously when you reached out, I was like, absolutely. I mean, this is exactly what we talk about. Come ride the North Georgia Mountains. We'll go ride with you. And we'll do a podcast too. But before we end the show, again, I know we've already said it, but give all your social media.
Well, the Horny Harley Honkers on Instagram, and we are kind of starting a YouTube channel. So we've got one video out, but we're working on it. So just be patient with us. But of course we're on Facebook as well.
Yeah, it's hard. I mean, with no time, it's hard to like do all of this social media stuff, especially YouTube videos.
Yeah.
You want them to look good and you want them to, get attraction. But
you come home from work on a Monday through Friday and you clean house, you cut grass just so you can have a weekend freedom to ride motorcycles.
Exactly.
That's right. I work so my motorcycle can have a good life.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, again, thank you guys so much.
Thank you.
Yeah, it was a great time. You guys can ride. It's always awesome. Sometimes you meet people and you're like, can they ride?
Yeah.
And you find out they but no, you guys can ride. So,
Well, thank you.
Z, you want to hit everything up?
Yeah, just make sure you follow us on Instagram at Chuck and Z, and then on YouTube, make sure you like and subscribe. But thanks for coming on, and it was great meeting you guys in person again and having you on the show.
Yeah,
Thank you.
All right, stay safe, shiny side up. Out.
Peace out.
No, good show, guys.
Good show.